You're right everyone, Ace here from Romany Custom Catapults. So I've got 3 new builds to show you all quickly. I think I need a bit of a shave as well. First of all, I've got 3 different size velociraptors here. This is a adolescent size. It's got a 0.9mm brass core. It's got a G10 back and a hybrid resin and I believe it to be maple burl wood. Brass pins, brass lined carbon fibre lanyard pin, matching bead, slanted tips and my sandwich sights. I've gone up a size in the sandwich sights. These are 2mm compared to the 1.5 I was using. They're much better. We've got parallel titanium Torx bolts on this. It's a good size one, this is. It's not just shorter, I've actually took the handle up higher so you can get a full hand on it. This is a full size version. It's scaled with the same resin but from a separate slab. So it's maple burl with this bluey red resin swirl, but it's different. It has the same core, 0.9mm core, but if you look, the pattern of the wood's different. It's impossible to get this material the same. It's got different clips. The clips on this one are supposed to be in white G10 are red linen micarta, and the optics are a different colour. The optics on that one are slightly further away. The optics don't have to be in perfect positions. If they're a mill out, they're a mill out. You've still got to hold your hand still. They're just a reference point really. Slanted tips, same parallel titanium bolts, but if you look at the size, there's not much in it. There really isn't much in it. The handles are slimmer on the full size one, but it doesn't choke up as high here and here. So the grip area is pretty much the same. I like these. I like the orange. I think the orange looks really good. And then last but not least is a juvenile, which is, well, smaller again. But this material is a material called Carvex. I mean, it's got a red G10 core. Ideally, I won't use this material on a flat-faced frame again. It would be perfect for web swells, palm swells, or a completely ergonomic frame that's shaped right in. On a flat face, I struggled with it, to be honest. It never came out how I wanted it. It's made up with lots of layers of paper. The pattern goes all the way through the paper, but the paper's only got a pattern one side, it's white the other. Because the layers are so thin, it's so easy to sand through a layer and go through to the next one. And it leaves this like a kind of a pale colour from the back of the paper. People might be looking at me saying, oh, there's a way around it, but trust me, there was no way around it. I tried and tried and tried. I flat sanded it. It just couldn't, I could not get it even. It was impossible. I just won't be using it on a flat face frame again. I did initially think to myself I could get away using it on a flat face frame if I'd done away with the pins, done internal pins or used bolts. But even then, when you get the material out of the box, it's got lines on it, and sanding it with a 2500 grit wouldn't get the lines out. So it's just a no-win on a flat surface frame. A lot of people have looked at it and they really like it. They really like it. It's just not what I envisaged, and for me, it's not a fail, but it's not where I wanted it to be. I mean, I polished it and it came, when it dried out, it went white. What I actually done, something I've never done before, I applied a coat of, I shouldn't say a coat, I wiped it over with epoxy resin. I didn't really leave a layer on it, I just wiped it over, and obviously a liquid going on it darkened the colour, and then that dried off and it did keep it dark. But it's a good little frame. It's just not what I envisaged. It's not as deep colour as I envisaged. The clips are integrated into the frame. We've got black tapered carbon titanium bolts, and then obviously the optics, matching bead. It's a nice little frame. This is the size I prefer. I mean, with the Velociraptor range, there's 3 different sizes, and it's not just that one's shrunk over another size. They're different. The way the handles come are different. They're all actually different. They're all drew free-handed, so the cup's deeper in a juvenile, as you can see. So they all actually feel a little bit different. It's not just one design made smaller, if you know what I mean. We've got carbon fibre pins in this one. I prefer the integrated clips. If I could, I'd integrate all clips, but it just doesn't work with some builds. For instance, when I'm using a resin like this, I always do G10 on the back of the frame, which is basically the side you're holding. The reason being for this is the G10 will take a fork hit better than the resin. I could sand a fork hit out at G10. If it hits the resin, there's a good chance it will crack it. So with that in mind, I know people can get fork hits. I try and limit the possible damage to the frame by putting G10 on the back. Also, if I put resin on this side, then the bolts would be tightening directly to the resin, which could cause it to crack. So there's a reason why you always see the resins on the outside of the frame, target side of the frame. But yeah, they're the 3 builds I've done. I've also been working on some RCC targets, knockdown targets, which will be used at the coming BCA event on the 28th of this month, October, in Newport, Wales. We've got little magnets on them. We've got 80mm for 20 meters, 60mm for 15, and we have 40mm for 10 meters. Obviously I can mix these sizes up if I wanted to. They're made of a very, very good material. This material is never going to break, it's never going to crack. They're fixed on nicely. I've got all spare parts for them. I just need to build the frames. I've got loads of them here all ready to be drilled. Like, there's a massive pile here down here ready to be drilled up. So today I'll be mainly making targets. Hope everyone has a nice afternoon. It looks like it's going to be quite a sunny one. Catch you all soon. Ciao.